Assalamu alaikum, family. Welcome to NationTownTV Live. I'm, of course, your brother, Landon X. You might have forgot who I am and who we are. We took a little very necessary hiatus the last couple of weeks. We got some big things in store for the rest of 2021 and going into 2022. But we're going to deal with this topic right here that's coming up tomorrow morning. Nigga Friday. We all know what so-called Black Friday is to our people, and it means a little bit more to us than it does to other people. We're gonna get into that, and also our need to resist Nigga Friday is important. But we're gonna talk more into it. We'll be back right after these messages.
Rio, Rio, Rio. Assalamu alaikum, family. It is your brother Landon X. This is Nation Town TV Live. We are back after a long hiatus. I'm not talking about the commercial break. I'm talking about the last couple of weeks where we have been revamping some things. We still in that process. We got some big things coming for the Nation Town TV family, but I want to get right into this. Shout out to all of the Nation Town TV family, including our quasi Muslim brothers out there. I want to give y'all a special Thanksgiving Mubarak, happy holidays Mubarak, Christmas Mubarak. I know some of y'all struggling with this new lifestyle for the black man, which is really our old lifestyle. And you can't resist that plate. I understand. You probably helping put up the Christmas tree.
Listen, I understand. It's an addiction. It's a drug, and you being weaned off of it. But anyway, let me start off in the proper fashion because we're gonna dig into this real quick, dealing with Nigga Friday. Oh yeah, tomorrow is a hella day, not a holiday, but a hella day, Nigga Friday, and we gotta get into this. I kind of went back and forth with myself on whether I was gonna go live today because I'm actually to make up for my disappearing act, the Nation Town disappearing act the last couple of weeks. We also gonna hit you with a special presentation Saturday night. It's inshallah, or Saturday afternoon or evening, inshallah. But got some big news. We even giving out some free stuff. So if you want some free stuff, you might want to stick around. If you don't want free stuff, I don't think you black. I mean, even black billionaires want some. I bet if you offered Kanye West some free, if you offered Oprah some free, if you offered Bob Johnson some free stuff, they'll stick around for some free stuff. Listen, let me start off in the proper fashion though. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the most merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who appeared to us in the person of Master W. Fard Muhammad, who was seen as that Messiah of the Christians and the Mahdi of the Muslims. And he proved that he was not only that, but even more when he raised that first begotten from the dead. And when I say that Muhammad is his messenger, I'm speaking of, with all due love, respect, and gratitude to Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah, peace be upon him, I'm speaking of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, that promised messenger of your Quran. In the Holy Quran, it says in Surah 16 and 36 that certainly a messenger would be raised for every nation. Last time I checked, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but last time I checked, every means all of them. Or as we say in the South, all of them. So every nation will receive a messenger. It also speaks in Surah 14 and 4 that that messenger would speak the language of that people, not just the linguistic language, but the empathetic language, meaning that he would come from the same clay that they came from. He would go through the same oppression that they went through. And that is the messenger that I'm speaking of for this time, for this nation, for this dispensation. And he's really just a messenger at minimum. I'm speaking of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, that great preacher of freedom, justice, and equality, the first begotten of the dead, who kicked off a process, just like Prophet Muhammad in the revelation of the Holy Quran set off a beautiful renaissance of Islam that is responsible for many of the civil and technological advancements of this world. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad, on the other hand, or perhaps the same hand, set off a renaissance of the black man and the aboriginal man and woman themselves. And I happen to know that to be a fact, even though I wasn't even a twinkle in my mother's eye when the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was amongst us. And I definitely wasn't a twinkle in my mother's eye. My mother wasn't even a twinkle in my grandmother's eye when Master Fard Muhammad was amongst us. But I know everything I just said to be true because of the divine teaching, leadership, guidance of the criterion in our midst today, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And in those three powerful names, I greet you in the words of peace. We said in the Arabic language, Vice, salam alaikum. Man, it feel good to be home. I'm like the internet version of the prodigal son, man. I felt so bad, man, leaving y'all out there to dry because we have such a wonderful and close-knit Nation Town TV family. Speaking of which, shout out to our brothers and sisters chiming in. As always, we're going to superimpose your questions and your comments on the screen. Make sure you show us some love. Shout out to Brother Muslim Muhammad. He says, come on, brother student minister, land the next, wake us up, all praises due to Allah. And of course, brother Hakeem Muhammad, wa alaikum salam, dear brother, indeed. Hit us up with your questions and comments. We're going to dig into this. As we always say, we do not intend to be on long, but we are duty bound to be on strong. So let's go ahead and dig into this.
I got that black whacked out. I ain't got no problem with black. You know, shout out to our Morris Science Temple brothers. I don't have no problem with the word black because I understand that black is not a color. I understand the essence of that word. But I don't really like the idea of Black Friday being called Black Friday because the better name for it is Nigger Friday. Nigger Friday. Now, what is Black Friday as it's colloquially known? Y'all, come on now. Come on, Nation Town family. Y'all know better. Y'all know what this is all about. Every year, people all throughout America and really the world, but especially America, charge into stores first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, fighting, scratching, clawing, because what happens at the end of the year is that many retailers they save some of their best discounted promotions for this time of the year, where you can get a big screen TV for $30. You can get this and that and certain items, and I'm gonna break down the retail science of this. And it's not as much of a bargain as you think it is. But if it be the will of Allah, I'm going to break down why this is not for us. And look at this. This is a news report from last year pointing out that a little girl was actually killed in a melee of Black Friday. So this takes place every year, usually the Friday, or always the Friday after Thanksgiving, the so-called holiday known as Thanksgiving. Shout out to our Native American family, all of the tribes, the real ones that are left, not the ones walking around here looking like John Goodman with a feather on your head. No, I'm talking about the real tribesmen out there that are still out there. You know, shout out to them. All praises due to grandfather. All praises due to Allah, as the Native family likes to refer to God. But with Black Friday, the thing about it is, if you notice, I'm gonna play this video clip again. I want you to do a quick census. Now, Black Friday is for everybody. It's funny how every time they put our name on it, it's for everybody. Just like Black Lives Matter and protests recently. Now everybody's involved, but it's for everybody. These deals are for everybody. But pay attention. Pay attention to the people that you see. Pay attention. What is the racial makeup? I ain't seen a white person yet. That's a white girl right there. But look around. Look around. Look around. Black. All right. Poor white. Hispanic. Black. 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 Yeah. Yeah. So we make sure, like I said earlier, we black folks love a bargain. Who don't love a bargain? Our Jewish friends love a bargain. There's nothing wrong with loving a bargain, but family, hit us up with your questions and comments while we get into this. And I gotta let you know and remind you, I should say, that this is NationTown TV, brought to you by NationTownStore.com. You know what it is. Shout out to all of our NationTownStore.com supporters. If you must spend some money, I know that money just about to jump out your pocket right now, and you can't wait. Oh, because you're so well trained, you can't wait to give it to your enemy. But you know what? NationTownStore.com, we take that enemy money too. So go ahead and go to NationTownStore.com, get your merchandise, get your personal care products. Wouldn't you like to wash yourself and cleanse yourself and smell good with your own people's products? Come on, man. We also have apparel merchandise. We also have the world famous bean pie, cookies, the whole nine. Show us some love on NationTownStore.com. And you can also donate as always on Cash App. Show us some love, however you feel, whatever's in your heart, whatever's in your pocket. But we, in this particular situation, are more considered. We're more interested in what's in your pocket when it comes to Cash App. I don't think Cash App takes heart money, but you can go ahead and show us some love on $NationTown. Keep in mind that when it comes to our Cash App donations, a strong portion goes to our Meal and a Message program, the Yes Ma'am program.
which stands for a meal and a message. And this is a program where we provide healthy food and PPE products to local individuals in need, whether they be homeless or not. Keep in mind, we have a epidemic of the working poor in America today. The working poor, people who work every day, who are grinding every day, but they just are struggling to make ends meet. That's what the Yes Ma'am program is for. Also, also, that $ Nation Town on Cash App would also contribute to the founder of the Yes Ma'am program, which is my wonderful and 8 months pregnant wife, Shauna Joy X, and we are expecting a new member of the Nation Town TV family anytime soon. Sister Jayana is on the way. You missed the baby shower. It was beautiful. It was on Zoom. You can show some love on $Nation Town Cash App and contribute to the baby shower. She's spoiled already. She's not. She hasn't even her feet hasn't even touched the ground yet. But she's spoiled. But you can further the spoil it. You know, I heard somebody say once, we don't spoil little black girls enough in America these days, and that's the truth. So go ahead and show some love to Sister Jayana, which means strength in Arabic. She'll be here anytime soon. I'm getting ready. I'm working on my football catching skills. So when she pop out, I just catch her. You know, in football, you catch with your hands, not with your body. All praises due to Allah. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna sit up here and try to catch her like a football, unless she come out like a football. If it happens, then I'm ready. I know how to catch with the diamond. I know how to do it. Shout out to my American football fans out there. But let's get down to it. Let's get down to it. Let's get down to it, family. Shout out to everybody chiming in. Let me superimpose. Got a few comments trickling in. All praises due to Allah. Brother Patrick Muhammad. Wa alaikum salam, dear brother. Thank you for tapping in. All praises are due to Allah. Sister Yasiel Joy, we see you, dear sister. Wa alaikum salam. We absolutely see you. All praises due to Allah. And excuse me, 9 months, she says. She had to correct me. 9 months, 37 weeks. All right, y'all do the math on that. But let's jump into that. Let's jump into that. Let's jump into our topic, actually, which is Nigga Friday. Nigga Friday, the most depressing holiday of all the holidays. It's actually that even as a Muslim, check this out, man. Even as a Muslim, so-called Black Friday is really, the word that I see being used a lot on social media is cringy. That's the most cringy event of the so-called holiday season for me. Because like I said, we see our people charging through the door to get what they think are these great deals. And in a lot of cases, they are. They are. But let me tell you something that my beloved mother, may Allah be pleased, Sister Gertrude Harper, who her name also means strength. That's why Sister Jayana will be named Strength as well. She taught me something. She gave me some economic game when I was very young, when I was 7, 8 years old. Like many of your parents, she cut coupons. She cut coupons. But she was very careful. She would take the Sunday paper and it would take her like an hour or two to cut the coupons. Or sometimes I would see her just sift through the coupon book real quick and then just toss it. So sometimes it would take 2 minutes, sometimes it would take an hour. And I would just be like, wow, why? And I asked her one day, I said, why is it sometimes you take forever cutting the coupons and then some days you just toss the whole thing? She said, well, baby, it's really a scam, coupons, or it's really a trick, I think is the word she used. She said, and I quote, coupons only help when you use a coupon for a product that you were going to purchase regardless. I'm going to say that again. She said coupons only help. Anybody that's on a budget and they trying to save money, you only really save money
when you cut a coupon of a product that you were going to buy anyway. If you were going to get a slab of pork, if you were going to get some pork chops, if you were going to get some potato chips, if you were going to get some Pepsi anyway, you already had a taste for it. That's a regular in your household. You were going to do it. You knew you were going to do it. If the Pepsi was $5 a bottle or three for $5, you were going to walk out that store with Pepsi, and then you get a coupon that's three or four for $5. Now you save money. Now, if you had no intention of getting Pepsi, no intention of getting a bag of chips, and then you see a coupon for two for $1, and then you go in there and you use that coupon and you redeem it, you walk out thinking you saved money, but they actually took money from you because that was $1 that you were not going to spend. And then you're going to go home and eat those chips. Most of these processed foods have a chemical in it called MSG. They've switched the chemical name around, so now MSG comes in many names. And MSG has a chemical compound that's similar to cocaine, where you get, we call it cravings, but really what it is just a plain old addiction. So you're going to wake up 2 weeks later and say, man, I sure do want some of them chips. And you really got the same chemical composition going on in your body as when a crackhead wakes up and says, man, I sure do want to smoke some crack right now. And that's because you got that chip in your system now. And you know that chip is good and it tastes good and it hits your senses a certain way. So now every time you go to the grocery store, you grab a bag of those chips, whether they on sale or not. So it's an advertising tool. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but there's a trick to it. And you gotta know the tricks. Black Friday is the same trick. Yes, that big screen TV that you just saw in July that cost $1,500 is now $700. Now, first of all, the store paid about $400 or $500 wholesale for it. So they still making a profit. But you're right, it is a lot cheaper than it was. But tell me this, are you going to go into that store and just get that TV? You're not going to look at anything else? And if you get there and that TV that was half off is already gone, but they got some other TVs that's 20% off, but you fully expected to walk out of there with a TV, you're going to go ahead and get the ones that's 20% off. And the ones that were half off, they only had five of them. And you got there too late, even though you spent the night outside in the cold. They only had five of them. But the ones that's just 20% off, where they're going to make like a 60, 70% profit margin, they had 100 of them stacked up in the back. So it's about drawing you in. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. But mentally, your mind has been tricked into thinking you're saving money. You're going to save your family money. You're going to get some kind of deal when really it's a maneuver. I don't even want to call it a trick because it's legal and it's really morally correct. It ain't nothing morally wrong with it. You want to draw people into your store. We at NationTownStore.com, we have promotions. We have coupon codes that draws you in for a certain product, but then you're going to browse the site and see other things and hopefully buy something else. That's okay. But stop tricking yourself and stop telling yourself that you're getting some kind of bargain. You're really not. And keep in mind, the most valuable thing in this world, the most valuable currency is not money at all. It's time. So you woke up 5 in the morning to go hang out outside of Best Buy for 2 or 3 hours. That's time that you will never get back. Whatever TV or whatever it is you buy in there, $500, $600, $800 worth of stuff, you can always go and keep working, keep grinding, keep hustling, and make that $800 back. You will never get that time back. So be very careful with that idea of thinking that you're making money. Shout out to everybody chiming in. We see you. All praise is due to Allah. Sister Yasiel Joy says, Shana Joy, what a blessing. So happy for y'all. All praises due to Allah. Thank you, dear sister. Brother Muslim Muhammad says, teach, brother. All praises due to Allah. I'm trying, dear brother. I'm trying. And Sister Yasiel says, that's right, Brother Landon X. Memory by association. It's addictions. I'm telling you this. You cannot, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad told the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you cannot fathom the depths of Satan. But I wanna really dig into that for a second. When he says you cannot fathom the depths of Satan, depths, depths doesn't necessarily mean evil. It doesn't mean evil at all. Depth is a measure of how deep something is. What do we say when somebody says something that we think is really clever or really smart? Man, that's deep. We dealing with a very wise, wickedly wise, but nonetheless wise enemy. And he's mastered the art of tricknology. And there's tricknology that's good, tricknology that's bad. Sometimes you got to use a little bit of chicanery to get people to do something that they need to do. But we all know the history of this devil and this chicanery. But let's dig into it. First of all, what's the history of Black Wall Street? I mean, not Black Wall Street, but Black Friday. Now, first of all, some of us may think we know. There's a lot of internet memes. Internet memeology is damn near a academic subject these days. And some of you have heard through these memes that Black Friday is inspired by some kind of situation where slaves were sold at a discount on the Friday after Thanksgiving. In recent years, this is from some research that I did. It says in recent years, another myth has surfaced that gives a particularly ugly twist to the tradition, claiming that back in the 1800s, Southern plantation owners could buy enslaved workers at a discount on the day after Thanksgiving. Though this version of Black Friday's roots has understandably led some to call for a boycott of the retail holiday, it has no basis in fact. Now, I disagree with this comment on the basis that it's saying that that's why we should boycott Black Friday. No, no. But I do agree that it's not really rooted in fact, and here's why. As you know, today's so-called Thanksgiving. Go to the bank real quick and talk to a bank teller. Oh, you can't. Why? Because the bank is closed. Every holiday in which, every type of holiday in which banks are closed and many markets are closed and many other forms of commerce and trade are closed, those same holidays were honored or acknowledged in slave trades and slave auctions as well. They didn't have slave auctions on Christmas. They didn't have slave auctions on Thanksgiving. And whenever it was not a holiday, it was not a holiday, you better believe it was slave auctions popping. If it wasn't a holiday, they had the slave auctions a popping. Please believe. So the Friday after Thanksgiving, they had the slave auction just like any other. And with any auction, I'm somewhat familiar with auto auctions. It all depends on the auctioneer and the auction company on what they want to do. So this is not entirely true. The true meaning, let me go over another uh, myth. They say that it's based on what I'm about to explain to you, but specifically in the city of Philadelphia. Philadelphia was the first city to have an event where their stores and their marketplaces had discounts after Thanksgiving. Philadelphia was the first, and when they started that, it was always traffic jams, a lot of people in the area because they were off from work. And, it became a huge hassle on the local police department and traffic and the whole nine. And then they called it Black Friday. But the real reason why it's called Black Friday is this right here, that almighty dollar. And as you know, in the business, or you may know, or you're about to know, in business, when they say that we're in the red, RED, red is a negative color in business. Black is a positive color in business. Black means you've made a profit. The most commonly repeated story behind the Thanksgiving shopping related Black Friday tradition links it to retailers. As the story goes, after an entire year of operating at a loss in the red, stores would supposedly earn a profit went into the black on the day after Thanksgiving because holiday shoppers blew so much money on discounted merchandise. Ding, ding, ding. That is the correct answer, people. The correct answer. It is because of money, 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 money. That almighty dollar. And let me tell you something. I worked in retail on every level as a young man. I worked in the store. I worked in management. I worked on the corporate level. And what a lot of people may find surprising is that when it comes to retail, the profit margins are extremely thin. This is one of the reasons why opening up a grocery store, a brick and mortar grocery store, ain't as easy as you think it is. Opening up any kind of store is not, as because the profit margins are very, very thin. Meaning, when you go and buy a candy bar at a retail store or at a grocery store, if it costs you $1.50, they're not getting $1.50 profit. They're not even getting $1 profit. If you break it down based on the cost of all the candy bars on that shelf, in their workforce, their labor force, all their overhead, paying all the expenses for the building, all of that, they're probably making about 2 to 3 cents off of your purchase of that candy bar. They're razor thin. And if you ever go in the grocery store and you see that discount bargain bin, these are wholesale products that they purchased wholesale, but they have not sold. So what they've done is thrown them in this bargain bin, and you can sift through it and buy it. And whatever you pay for it, that's at least giving them some kind of money on it. And a lot of times when you go shopping on Nigga Friday, you're buying the big screen TVs that wouldn't sell. They've been sitting on that big screen TV for 3 years. It's usually a brand name you never heard of. I think they're gonna have some NationTown big screen TVs this year. It might be Muhammad big screen TVs. You be like, damn, I didn't even know Muhammad made big screen TV. It'll have a Japanese name you can't even pronounce, like Hashitashi from Martin. That's because they bought like 1,000 of them 3 years ago. Only sold 20 of them, and they just been sitting there collecting dust. And on the books, they're still collecting dust in their books, and it's in the red. So now, if they go ahead and sell all of them for $200, even though the retail price was originally $900, they'll at least clear the books of that particular product. So they are looking at the end of the fiscal year to get rid of a lot of products that they to make room for the new season, which is coming, and that's when they're going to bring all new products on. So it's deeper than that. There is no charity in retail. There's no charity really in business, unless a business decides to use some type of income for charity, like with our $ Nation Town on Cash App. A percentage of those profits goes to the Yes Ma'am program. But nobody's just gonna help you in business. Nobody's just gonna help that grocery store ain't got your back. The grocery store ain't your friend. Best Buy ain't your friend. Pardon my English, they ain't your friend. They are not trying to help you feed your family. They're not trying to help you entertain your family with that big screen TV. They are working for their bottom line, and so they can get into the black. And that's the real historical meaning of Black Friday. Shout out to everybody chiming in. We see you. We feel you. Shout out to Brother K for real. Peace and blessings to you, dear brother. And I like this message right here. I second this motion. Second, third, and fourth. Share, like, subscribe, and support, family. That's real talk. All praises are due to Allah. Let's keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving, fam. Now, and just to give it, okay, we already dealt with that. All praises due to Allah. But check this out, fam. Here's the reason why I mentioned earlier that Black Friday makes me sick to my stomach. And we really won't be on long today. And I'm going to talk about that special giveaway that we got coming up. So stick around if you're waiting on that. Here's the reason. Because everybody that's watching this, whether you're willing to admit it or not, you got You got both of these in your family. I'm gonna give you two examples of a family member. Since we all sitting at home with fam, most of us are with family. I'm with family. I'm not with my my whole family. I'm with my new family that I'm building. But some of you are with your family and whatnot, and I guarantee you, at your family gatherings, you got these two examples. It's just reality, man. You probably got the female in your family who got a no good man. I mean, dude is just no good. He ain't no good for her. Ever since she met him, he been pulling her down. He's abusive in more ways than one, verbally, maybe even physically. He don't do nothing but play PlayStation all day. He's just a terrible dude, and y'all know she can do so much better. Y'all all got her. Y'all, sometimes it's a him. Sometimes it's a him that got a female that ain't no good for him. Or sometimes he got a boyfriend that ain't no good for him. That's another story for another day. But then the second type that I know everybody on here can relate to, if you're willing to admit it, you can admit it or not. You ain't got to admit it. I know you do. You black in the Western Hemisphere and amongst this devil just like I am. So you got to have this. I don't care if you even in Europe. Shout out to brother Bilal and them. But you got the person in your family that struggles with drugs or alcohol, sometimes both. And what really bothers you, you got these people in your family, but every now and then you unfortunately catch one of them or see them under the influence of that drug or alcohol. Or you see that female family member all hugged up with that Negro that just gave her a black eye last week. That's how I feel when Black Friday or Nigga Friday comes around, because that is the real economic issue in our community. It is not a lack of education. No, it is not a lack of black owned businesses. No, I've said this before on NationTown TV. There is no shortage of black owned businesses. None. None. I'm gonna tell you something. We often say, "Where are the schools? Where are the grocery stores? Where is it this? Where's the banks? Where's the this and the that?" Let me tell you why you're asking that question. In the Bible and Quran, if you read it, you'll find a very wicked similarity between the pharaohs. King Herod, the pharaoh in the days of Moses. What did they say? Kill all boy babies. They were trying, just like the pharaohs of this day, like J. Edgar Hoover, who wanted to stop the rise of a black messiah. See, if you kill all the babies, all the boy babies, and the messiah is going to be a male, then 30, 40, 50 years from now, people will be walking around saying, lost as hell, saying, "Where's the messiah? Where we need a leader." That's because you've effectively destroyed the possibility of there ever being a Messiah, because you killed and you murdered and you maimed all the boy babies. That's why Herod went that route. That's why Pharaoh went that route. And the reason we say, "Where are the grocery stores? Where are this? Where's the schools? Where's it?" Because somebody's killing the grocery store babies. Somebody's murdering the school babies. What do I mean by that? If you follow the history of any of these huge companies that you love spending your money with here in America, you'll find that many of them started small. Almost all of them did. Everybody watching this got 7 Amazon boxes stacked up on your porch right now. Amazon started off in a bedroom in Jeff Bezos' house. He put a big piece of wax paper on the wall. You probably seen the photograph. A big piece of wax paper, took a black marker, a Sharpie, and wrote Amazon.com. I think it was even in cursive. Amazon.com. And he had one of them big old school computers sitting at his desk. And he started off selling used novels and used books. And then it went from books to ink pens and ink pens to pads. And it just expanded to the point now
it ain't too much you can't get on Amazon. But see, nobody killed the Amazon baby. People supported. I don't even like that word support because it sounds like charity. People spent their money with Amazon. So Amazon got the opportunity to grow up into the monster that it is. Now this peck of wood is in space. Now this peck of wood is going to space. He just wanted to 20 years ago, 25 years ago, he just wanted to sell a book or two. He wanted to sell you an old copy of Catcher in the Rye. That's all he wanted to do. Was sell you an old copy of Catcher in the Rye. That was the goal. That was the life goal of Jeff Bezos. Now this cracker is going to space. That's because nobody killed his boy baby, also known as Amazon. So that's why we're asking that question. That's why we're asking that question. So when I see Nigga Friday, I see those babies being murdered because you're not lining up outside of black-owned businesses on Black Friday. No, you're not. No, you're not. So what you're doing is that you're killing black babies, business babies. So they never grow up to be those Amazons or to be those Victoria's Secrets or to be those Dove soaps or whatever the case, because you're killing those boy babies. Let's keep it moving. Now, why does this even matter, Brother Landon? Why you, well, come on, man, brother, we just trying to get a $40 big screen TV, brother. Why you hate, bro? Listen, when things like this happen, we get all riled up. We get all riled up, and we huffing and a puffing, or we celebrate, or we huffing and a puffing, and we crying crocodile tears. But I'm gonna tell you, family, there's an image that I saw on social media a while back, and it's been circulating, and I pray that it continues to circulate because this image paints the picture perfectly. Like Pac used to say, picture perfect. I paint a perfect picture. It's a perfect picture that breaks down how this world is constructed and when it pertains to the Aboriginal man and woman of America. I want you to look at this. Many of you have seen this before if you peruse social media. It says if the people stand, the game is over. Take a very good close look. You see they playing a monopoly game. Look at the people who are playing the game. Look at the money on the table. But is that a table? Take another look. These are black men bent over. The weight of that table, the weight of that money operates on their back. If just one of them stands up, it'll throw off that table. If they all stand up, the game is over. This is the absolute truth. This is it. This is it. This is the truth. Another thing I want to bring up. Shout out to everybody chiming in. I see you. All praises are due to Allah. Brother K for real says that's right. Absolutely. Wa alaikum salam, the brother Bilal, we see you all the way from, I believe, Manchester. I'm around the corner from Manchester Boulevard, and my brother is in Manchester, England. All praises are due to Allah indeed. Shout out to my brother official MNIB, aka Bilal. But all it takes is for us to stand up. But this is not a protest clarion call. This ain't about protesting. This ain't about wearing a certain t-shirt. This ain't about complaining on social media. The kind of stand up that it's talking about is what you see on them brothers' back, and that's the money that's on the table. If they tip over, the money changes table. See, this is why the minister says that fourth Jesus is the black man and woman themselves. We can tip over the money changers tables right now just by standing up, man. Just by standing up. Now let's go further. I want to talk about our consumer habits real quick. We got to be aware of consumer expenditure. Consumer expenditure. Consumer expenditure survey conducted by the Federal Bureau of Labor Statistics, blacks and Hispanics spend up to 30% more than whites of comparable income on visible goods like clothing, cars, and jewelry. The researchers found. This meant that compared to white households of similar income, the typical black and Hispanic household spent $2,300 more per year. That's a lot of $50 TVs on visible items. To that, they spent less on almost all other categories except housing, and they saved less. This is our problem. We first of all we spend a larger percentage of our dispensable income than any other group of people. You see well-to-do or rich white people, and they have certain things. They drive in a nice car. They have they have certain kind of clothes. All the clothes that we think are so valuable and expensive come from them. It's their clothes. They're made. That's all made by European homosexuals, guaranteed. So we think that okay, that's the good life. But here's the thing, brother. Let's do a little bit of math real quick. If my net worth, if I'm a Caucasian, if my name is Brad Strusselberg, and I'm a Caucasian, and I'm worth $2 million, and I go and buy an $80,000 car, that's a really nice car. And when I drive down the street, if you see me, you be like, "Oh man, I'm gonna get one of them one of these days." But I'm worth $2 million. My name is Brad Strusselberg. That's about 4% of my net worth. 4%. 4%. But if my name is Jamal Johnson and I got a good job, I got me a good job. I did everything everybody told me to do. I went to college, I went and got me a good job, or I hustled my way up, or whatever. I got me a good job or a good hustle, or I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm worth $200,000. So now I got $200,000. First thing I want to do is go and get that $80,000 car that I saw Brad Strusselberg driving down the street with. But that $80,000, which is really going to be more than $80,000 because I'm financing it. Brad Strusselberg didn't finance. He probably leased. A lot of rich people lease, but I go and I get it financed. That $80,000 is 40% of my net worth at $200,000. That's a problem. We're more concerned with looking rich than being rich. That's a problem, family. And this has to do with nigga Friday, Black Friday, because Black Friday it just dispels all the symptoms. It shows all the symptoms of our problem. Now here's another problem that we complain about. Shout out to my brother in Oklahoma that you probably heard about, Julius Jones, a brother who was wrongfully convicted. I looked at the court documents myself. They had no evidence on the brother at all. But and it kind of hit me because he was arrested and convicted around the same time I was graduating high school. But he was sentenced to death for a murder that not only did he not do, but when the murder took place, he was actually at home, and he has witnesses backing him up on that. He was literally at home when it took place. But he was scheduled to be executed last week. The Governor Stitz of Oklahoma commuted it, but he did not commute his sentence. He didn't commute his conviction. He only commuted. They actually only put a stay on the execution. But shout out to brother Julius Jones. Wherever there's life, there's hope. So I'm glad my brother lives another day. But when we hear about these kind of things, we get mad and we get all riled up because of the way the justice system, we like to call it the system, that's like blaming the spider web, but not blaming the spider itself. But we get mad at this system. But let's look at this system. Where does this system profit? Many of you know that there are corporations that exploit prison labor. That same brother that was hustling on the corner, talking about I ain't working for no white man. I'm gonna get it out the mud. I'm a hustler. I'm the plug. I'm this. I'm that. That same brother who wanted that fast money is now working for 30 cents an hour for Walmart, for Sara Lee, for Motorola, for IBM, for Chevron, for Macy's, for Target. This looked like a Black Friday lineup, a nigga Friday lineup, don't it? Oh, these are just a few. Whole Foods, Victoria's Secret, Starbucks. Come on, but you see Nike down there. Come on now, but this is just a few. Many of you have probably seen these company names pop up. Let me introduce you to a few more. In fact, let me show you though. Since you want to call it a system, since you want to blame the spider web and not the spider, let me show you the whole spider web. You can't even read it. It's so damn deep. The major parent corporations are toward the middle, but look at all the brands that profit off of the slave labor thanks to the 13th Amendment that we find in America's prison system. There are more black men, just men, more black men incarcerated in the system that feeds this spider web, more black men in the system right now than there were slaves in the year 1850. And that includes male and female and child slaves. Black male prisoners outnumber black slaves in 1850. Actual facts. Actual facts. So that's to answer, the people, the brothers and sisters that may be watching, who might be saying, "Oh, brother, come on, man. We just trying to get a $40 TV, man. We just trying to get some $30 shoes, man. We just trying to get a $15 laptop, brother Leonard, man. You hate, man. Come on." I'm telling you that all the things that we spend all year crying about, protesting about, kicking and screaming about, posting on social media, hashtagging about, I'm showing you the system that it all comes from. Listen, in the Nation of Islam, we don't believe in a mystery God. We do not believe in a mystery God. But since God is, last time I checked, I mean, I don't care what God you believe in, but isn't God at the top of the totem pole? Isn't he at the top? Ain't he the top ranked? Ain't he top flight? God? Ain't God up here above all else? Right? Okay. So if we don't believe in a mystery God, that means we cannot believe in a mystery anything under God. So I don't believe in a mystery God. I don't believe in mystery oppression. I don't believe in mystery economics. These things are all funded by our activity. Let me show you the picture again, people. And we're funding the prison system in two ways. It's on our back because we're feeding the system by being the actual inmates. And then those of us who don't get locked up, we're out there feeding the system by further supporting companies that benefit from prison slave labor. But like Martin Luther King said in his last speech that dealt with economics, not only that, but for those of you who always got a problem with the police, defund the police is what Black Lives Matter came up with last year. We should defund the police. That'll put an end to all our problems. Just stop cutting them a check. Really? Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sure that a white police officer who suddenly took a 30% pay cut is going to deal with the public with a cooler head than he did when he was getting paid his normal salary. Yeah. Like, how would you show up to work if you got a 30, 40, 50, 60%? You probably wouldn't show up at all, right? And if you did, you would be the last person that anybody would want to deal with, right? But if you really want to defund the police, once again, since you don't want to blame the spider, you want to blame the web, let me show you another web. Again, so small you can hardly see it. But these are companies that fund local police foundations. And you see some of the usual suspects on, look in the middle. You got the Los Angeles Police Foundation, the New York City Police Foundation, Chicago. These are the ones we always talk about. But look at all these companies, Bank of America, Chevron. Come on, man. Microsoft, Target, Starbucks. But you got to have your Starbucks coffee. You got to have it. You got to have it. But defund the police. Who's funding them though? Oh, the government's funding them. Where the government get their money from? Who funds the politicians? Oh, let's get into that. Shout out to everybody chiming in. We see you. All praises due to Allah. Brother Bilal, official MNIB, says trying to look the part rather than be the part. That's real, brother. Okay, for real. In that order, teach, bro. All praises due to Allah. Still working for them, straight up, in the worst way. In the absolute worst way. Yes, sir. All praises due to Allah. Let's dig into it even further. We won't be on much longer, but we do intend to close even stronger. Let's talk about the politics of it, because we basically going down the cracker hole. I mean, the rabbit hole, because we showed the dollar coming out of your pocket. This is how it starts. Like Denzel say on training day, yeah, that's how it starts. This is how it starts. And you really do this all year round. You don't do it quite like this, but you do this all year round. And there is no video for how many of us are doing